One of the main frustrations, I think, for a lot of people when they're using Davinci Resolve Studio in Windows is that right out of the box, even in the Davinci Resolve, Studio, the paid version of the software, you cannot export ProRes. And that's a problem for our business because ProRes is the coin of the realm. When you get into finishing and more, post facilities are dealing with VFX and color, yada, 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 they work with all sorts of different formats, and that's a different thing. I'm more speaking to the independent filmmaker, the doc filmmaker, just whoever's making videos, and you just want to work with ProRes or some sort of mezzanine or just some sort of mastering codec that you can just always rely on, and it's lossless, effectively lossless, and it's not it doesn't take up terabytes on your hard drive. ProRes tends to be the one. There is an open source and free tool on the internet called Voukoder. On the internet. Everything's on the internet nowadays. I sound like a really old man when I say that. It's a free tool and it's a plugin for Davinci Resolve Studio that I've been using for a few years now. And barring a couple of weird bugs that gave me some weird encoding issues, I really haven't had any issues with Voukoder at all. So I'm going to show you the tool. I'm going to show you how to install it because it is a strange installation process. It's not just a double click the .exe file that you might be used to in a Windows environment. Rest assured, by the end of this video, you will know how to export ProRes from Davinci Resolve Studio on a Windows machine. Okay, so just go check out voukoder.org. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. So make sure you check out the description. All the resources for this video will be there. Now you can do Voukoder Pro or Voukoder Classic, and one of them is paid and one of them is not. I chose the paid because I use it all the time and for work, and I wanted to contribute to the project, but you don't have to do that. If you just want to test it, you can use the free version. So you can go to Voukoder Classic and go to download. And this is the app. Okay, this is the one you're going to actually, that's like the .exe file that you're going to install. So we're going to download that. And then also for Davinci Resolve Studio, you'll see here, there's a couple of different options, but for Davinci Resolve Studio, here's the connector. You want to download that as well. Look at this, it's pretty recently updated as well. I mean, it's an active updated community. Once you have downloaded the two files, both the connector and the app, you're going to double click the .msi file, and that's going to install the app on your system. And nothing's going to happen. It's relatively uneventful. Then you want to extract the folder from the zip folder that you downloaded for the connector. And I'm going to copy this, Command C. Let's open this up. There's a README file inside of this folder, and it's essentially the instructions that tells you where you need to save the connector file. And it even gives you the directory. So I'm going to copy the directory of where we're going to copy this file to. Open up a new browser window here. Paste my directory. And now I've already pasted mine in, so I'm not going to do it again, but all you have to basically do is go to this folder. Now you may not have an IO plugins folder in this directory. And in which case, when you get to this step here, to IO plugins, you're going to be wondering, asking yourself, where's this folder? Wait, this doesn't work. This doesn't work for my system. You just create the IO plugins folder, and it tells you as much right here in the instructions. And let's say, make sure you have the main Voukoder application installed. We've already done that, and that's done. So once again, voukoder.org is the website where you can find this tool. I created the IO plugins folder because I didn't have one. And then I copied and pasted the file that I unzipped straight into this directory. Okay, and then when I reopen, you don't want to have Davinci Resolve open when you're installing this, just because you're going to have to restart it anyway for it to load that plugin, and then you can use it in the future. So typically, when you go to the export page in Davinci Resolve, you will save your directory and save the name of the file, and then under the video tab, under single clip or individual clips, it doesn't really matter, you choose what your wrapper is. What's your main format? And you know, on a Windows machine, you would go to QuickTime, or excuse me, on a Mac machine, you would go to QuickTime and then you would choose ProRes. But because this is a Windows machine, we don't have the ProRes option. We only have DNX HD and DNX HR. So I'm going to go to the encoder option, excuse me, the format option, go all the way down. And now we see Voukoder is an additional option. So for the codec, it's internal because we're going to make those decisions in just a moment. But this is where you limit your bandwidth, your output, your precision, your bit depth, and your subsampling, your color subsampling. My target's going to be YUV, but a higher bit depth. It's going to be 10 bits. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose that. Now this project is archival mini DV, so it's 2997. So I'll just leave it at that for now. You do have one additional option here under plugin settings now that was not there before, and that is configure Voukoder. You want to click on that. And this window is going to open up, and you're going to start from the top and then work our way down and then eventually output. So under video encoder, we want to use ProRes KS. Okay, that's the default, and we want to use that. That's how it encodes the ProRes. You also will have a couple different options here in your pull-down menus. Under options, I chose YUV 422 10-bit, and that is one of only two options because I had selected a higher bit depth as my main option. Under type, I had chose YUV high bit depth. My other option is 444, and that's where you would select to do that. And then you can also do an alpha channel. And then under the profile, as well as the quantizer, I'm going to choose high quality because I'm going to ProRes 422 HQ. Okay. And we're not going to do any side data or filters. I did add the primaries, my BT709 primaries, but I'm just encoding that as data because I'm anal about stuff like that. You can choose whatever audio you want to be piped into the stream. I'm going to let Resolve do that. So I'm going to leave that alone. And then under, this is very important, under your multiplexing output format, you want to choose .mov. You do not want to choose Matroshka, which is MKV, which is the open source version of ProRes. So I'm going to choose .mov. And then we'll leave the rest alone. I typically will choose logs because I like to, if there's a bug or if there's a problem, I'd like to read about that. Okay, so we have everything set up the way we want for video. Let's go to audio. We're going to export audio, codec auto. Sure, that's fine for now. But like I said, you can go in and tailor what you want coming out of Voukoder. That's fine too. But let's just keep it this way for now. And then we add that to our render queue and then render. Okay. And that's about it. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments below. And like I said, all the links provided in this video or in this also in the description below. So I'll see you on the next one.